Hey everybody, it's Jo. Thanks for joining me again today. It's lovely to have you on the channel. Today I am playing with some embossing folders. If you've been around a little while, you'll know that I love embossing folders. So to start off with, I'm using a piece of the mixed media cardstock from scrapbook.com, and I'm using my Distress Oxide inks in the colour Spun Sugar. But you can see here that I'm not getting very good coverage, and that's because my ink pad needs to be re-inked. So I'm going to get as much colour out of it as I can before I re-ink it. So I'm just going to use it direct to paper. And I really like the way this has added a little bit of texture to the cardstock as well. So I'm using a background colour because I'm also going to use my sprays, and I'm hoping that this colour is still going to show through when I use my Distress spray stains on my embossing folder. So the embossing folder that I'm using is called the Cupped Blossoms. It is an older one by Altenew. You could use any embossing folder here. I'm pick ones that actually have a bit of space so that I can get my colour into my embossing folder. So you can see here I've got 3 colours in the Distressed Spray Stains. I'm using Peaked Raspberry, Cracked Pistachio and Squeezed Lemonade. So I'm just kind of dropping it into the deboss side of the folder. So I'm sticking just with the green for the leaves. I'm trying not to put too much into the folder either. And I'm sticking with colours that I know will mix well together. So by using the pink and the yellow, when they are combined, they make a orangey kind of colour. So I'm not going to get mud. So you can see this does take a little bit of time. I'm just kind of tapping. I want to make sure that I keep it contained and that it's not going onto the blank space of the embossing folder. So I've got 2 colours down. I'm going to come in now with that Picked Raspberry, and it doesn't matter if the colours are mixing, that's all good. And it does look like a little bit of a hot mess, but it actually turns out quite pretty. So I'm just cleaning up some of the embossing folder where I may have got some extra splatters before I run it through my machine. So if you're enjoying this video, I would love for you to click the like button and consider subscribing. It would be lovely to have you stick around and watch some more of the content that I create. So right now I'm going to spritz my folder. Now I probably gave it a good 5 squirts. You don't want too much because obviously you don't want your card waterlogged. And now I'm going to run it through my embossing machine. So I'm putting it through my plates there. I've put it through. Now you're going to find that it pushes all the water and the liquid to the bottom of your folder. But that's okay. These just wash off beautifully. So wiping it off, and you can see this just looks really pretty. It's like a really soft, almost like gelato colours. So because that cardstock is quite wet, I'm going to heat that off. And I'm also going to die cut. So I chose to die cut it afterwards, after I'd embossed it, so I could get rid of the edges where all the colour had pooled. So it will give me a cleaner edge. But I know that that's going to take some of the detail out of my embossing. So now I'm just going to pop this back into the embossing folder. You can still feel it kind of click into place, and run that back through my machine just to bring in all the detail again. So I've got my trusty little box of sentiments, and I did just pick out a few that I thought could work. Again, I wasn't quite sure what colour to go with, but I did keep it really simple. In the end, I went with the gold one. I felt the black was a little bit heavy, and that little thank you I felt was a little bit, was taking over too much of that card. So I've gone through some coloured cardstock here because I was going to mat it on a pink matting, but I then decided that there was enough pink. So I'm going to just pop it straight onto my white card base. So just to kind of tie the colours all in together and so they blend a little bit, I'm using a white ink pigment pad. Goodness, that's hard to say. A white ink pigment pad. This is a Hero Hues pigment pad, white pigment pad. Just tapping over the top of it. That just helps kind of blend the colours a little bit. And then I'm going to add that to my card base. So my card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I love these embossing folders. Once you've done a little technique on them, you don't actually need to do a lot to embellish them. So you just need your sentiment. You can see there, I just felt that sentiment didn't go. So I just stuck with the gold one that says thinking of you. And I'm going to keep the embellishing really, really simple as well. So I've just got some foam strips there that I'm going to pop that little sentiment up on. And we're coming to the end of the card. All I need to do now is add just a few little gems just to finish it off and to bring in a little bit more of the gold from the gold sentiment. So these ones are Pink Fresh, and I've had them in my stash for a little while, and they're not quite as yellow as some of the other ones that I use, but you can see here I made this a lot more difficult than it needed to be. I was actually too lazy to go and get a small little tray to pour some into, so I fished around in this bag here trying to get them out. I will learn for next time. I thought this will be easy. I'll just pick them up with that wax tip pen. I should have just gone and got a little dish, pour them into a dish, and that would have made life a lot simpler, but sometimes I like to make work difficult for myself. But anyhow, that is my card for today. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for all your beautiful comments. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to leave you with a close-up now. Let me know what you think. Have you tried this technique? I'd love to know. Until next time, take care and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.